beware of spoilers. I am Adam, very late on this episode because I saw the movie on Sunday, and I'm just getting around to recording the episode about it now. Reason being, I ran errands right after going to the movies, and when you run errands right after going to the movies, you end up forgetting to record said podcast about things. And let's see, we're going to talk about Men today. That's the movie we're going to be discussing. Last night I was going to start watching Prehistoric Planet, but I got to finish something, and if I'm watching Prehistoric Planet, I'm probably not going to finish it. So that needs to, happen. But Men, I saw in theaters, and I really liked it. I'm not the biggest horror fan, as people will, probably know at this point. I just realized we did a horror movie or a horror something a few weeks ago, and I used the horror logo for the key art for the episode, and I don't know why it didn't dawn on me before, because no other podcast has that happen, but it didn't change it for the one episode. I guess just on Spreaker that changes. Oh well, whatever. Maybe on YouTube as well. But let's see, what have we got here? In Men, we follow the story of Harper, who is played by Jessie Buckley, who is, what's what I'm looking for here? I don't want to say, I'm, maybe she's a discovery for me as an actress, because I don't really watch too much British TV, if there isn't, and even then, I haven't watched Doctor Who since Capaldi took over. I kind of dropped off with Capaldi's first season, because I watched that episode where the companion was dead, maybe, and he was in a computer system. I don't remember. It got really weird, which says a lot. And the thing is, too, it's I think that, for me at least, when Moffat took over, he had his, he had his run. And then what ended up happening was he kind of fizzled out a little bit, to an extent, where he didn't quite, that first season, every season that happened, there's this really cool building thing that goes to a point where it's okay, what was that thing called, the Pandorica, or whatever the fuck that thing was, the cube thing. Then there was, the Mystery of River Song in season 6, and season 7 was leading up to the death of, the death of, Amy and Rory, and then back half was, we're getting way off topic here. Point is, I don't watch much British TV, and maybe if someone did, or British, really anything, maybe if someone did watch British TV or movies or whatever, they may know who Jessie Buckley is beyond just Parallel Mothers, which is the only thing that I know her from, and that's because that movie was an Academy Award contender last year. Fuck me. I just want to use my fucking laptop to break. So, all of that notwithstanding, she's really great in this movie, and I think that she does a great job playing all the roles she has to. There's also the, the idea that, there is this, the idea that, I only saw one trailer, and the idea that, I really gotta record this after I watch the movie, but it's been 2 days, and I'm like, what the fuck was I gonna talk about with this? The trailer, I saw it for a few movies, and I remember seeing in it, there were all these guys, and it never clicked with me that was all the same guy when I saw the trailer. And it is one of those, it is something that plays into the movie, and it's really cool how they play with that. Alex Garland is great with building suspense. That's kind of what he does best. Like, if you've seen his other two movies, Ex Machina and Annihilation, you know that's what he does very well. And to see him kind of dip into horror now is interesting. I'm not going to say this is my favorite of his movies. For me, my favorite will be Ex Machina, and then Annihilation, then this. But that's also because I don't like horror movies that much. It's not my favorite genre to watch. What else was that I wanted to address with this movie? The ending is very fucked up. That's what it was. And it's probably the image that's going to stick in people's head once they see the movie more than anything else this year. Is that final thing in the third act where all of the various men give birth to each other in a chain, and it's just like, holy fuck, that is fucked up. Like, I don't know how else to say it besides just that's fucked up. I don't know. I don't really know what else to, it's the kind of thing where it's like the movie is fucked up enough, and by an auteur director, where it's unlikely to try and draw in people who are on the fence about this kind of movie. It's not like it's like, oh, well, it's a good entry level. No, it's a little out there. And it is well executed in its grotesqueness. I will give it that. And I think that, like, some of the kills are great. And it's an interesting kind of, and it's not jump scary, too, which is what I like, too. I don't like movies with jump scares. And I know I sound like that guy from that TikTok that went around a while ago, where he's like, he's talking about the elevated horror. But, like, if I'm gonna watch a movie, I'd prefer to just, a feeling of dread works a lot better, for me at least, than a general feeling of anxiety that something is wrong here, something is going the way it shouldn't be, and why is that? That kind of thing works better for me as a viewer than going into, like, than just jump scares or anything like that. Because you can still do paranormal with dread, and you can still do basically every form of horror with dread and not have jump scares be the focal point of the movie. And if you want to have jump scares, you can still have them, and because they're few and far between, they work to better effect. And it's one of those things, and he's great with that. I think Alex Garland is one of this new crop of directors. I would say, like, him, Robert Eggers, Denis Villeneuve, is this new young crop of directors that's not, they are going to be the new face of the industry. When we talk about movies with, like, when we talk about, like, the 70s, and we have the Scorsese, the Coppola, all this kind of, that crop of talent. I think this is the late 2010s, early 2020s. We're going to have that here. I don't really know what else to say with this. I think that, it's basically all covered. I think that if someone's going to see an Alex Garland movie, they probably don't need an endorsement from someone to see it, in the same way that I don't, and if someone's going to seek out a podcast asking if they should see an Alex Garland movie, they're probably going to see the Alex Garland movie. In the same way that, like, if this was in a newspaper, it would have more of an impact because it's not necessarily someone who's actively seeking out material related to it. So I think we'll wrap up there for today. And I think that this, you definitely check out Men if it's still playing in theaters by you. I know that there's going to be a lot of people who it's not going to be because it is a limited release, and we are getting into summer blockbuster season, and Top Gun Maverick is coming out this weekend, as is Bob's Burgers, and then there's a week in between, and then it's Jurassic World Dominion, and then after that there's another one after that, and then we get to Thor: Love and Thunder in early July, and we're getting into this era where this time period where we start to get more fluid with the releases, and as more and more come out, these smaller releases tend to get swallowed up as it goes. So we'll wrap up there for today. We'll be back with I think Top Gun Maverick is the next movie I'm going to see, possibly tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Friday. Maybe Thursday. I gotta look at the schedule. I haven't really looked at the app yet to see what showings are available, and that's going to be the big deciding factor in all of this, is what screening is available when for me to go and see these movies. And then based on that, it'll happen. And Kenobi this week, and hopefully Disney Plus gives me a screener of Kenobi so I can watch it early so I'm not overloaded by the end of the week, because Kenobi is coming out against Stranger Things 4, and while I've not watched Stranger Things 1, 2, and 3, maybe Stranger Things 4, maybe I'll try and get through that, but if Kenobi is dumping 2 episodes, that's going to interfere with that. Plus, I would recommend to watch Barry by someone, so, I do have to fit that into my schedule somewhere. And Time Traveler's Wife is continuing to go on. And then we're getting into, what's it called? And then 2 days before Jurassic World is Miss Marvel, the Disney Plus show about Kamala Khan, which is going to be really interesting to see how many people, that's going to fuck people up, I think, because we have the vice president's name is Kamala, and her name is Kamala, and the issue is, I think they're both spelled the same. So I know, for me, I was pronouncing it Kamala Harris, and it's no, it's Kamala Harris, and it's okay, well, alright, so that's going to be something. And now I have a feeling that she's going to deepen that mistake. When I talk about the vice president on the infrequent occasion, then it comes up in conversation. So on that note, we will wrap up there for today. Later this week we will definitely have movies coming, and we will be seeing what's going on there as we get closer to the week.